think this is a big fight that we all need to be involved in. Coming from a different perspective, from a warehouse in New York, Staten Island, JFK, precisely, that's the name of the warehouse. What all the other speakers have been speaking about here, I think we all need to continue fighting against exploitation. Based on our experience in JFK, in New York, Staten Island, precisely 2022, that was the time all workers from all different backgrounds, white, black, Latino, Haitians, people who speak French language, people who speak Creole, everybody came together in general. I think the percentage was almost like a 75% that agreed to say, hey, we need to have a union. So that was a great, powerful movement for all of us, because before that, life was miserable. Our rights playing the building. I mean, the labor law was not practiced, was not implemented. I think Jeff Bezos just believed that, hey, I'm giving people work, so they don't need to complain. Pregnant women were not given the right accommodation. They had to speak up. They had to make the break. So everything was about time and speed. And people were fed up. So I think this is why, I like what you said. When people come together, great things happen. And finally, with the 30% from NRB, everybody agreed that election needed to take place, and it was done. So, but then Jeff Bezos was not happy with that whole result. I mean, look, if you go to Staten Island right now, you'll find the parking lot is like a prison. Whole fences around the place because we're affiliated with Teamsters. And they understood that, well, there are a lot of warriors coming after them. So we need our rights. So this was a very historical moment in our life, in the labor movement, because everybody believed that, well, nobody needed to be exploited. Now, going to Cuba, I think was a great experience for a lot of us. I went on 2 occasions. America is just funny when you talk about socialism or capitalism. They see it like a boogeyman. But what's happening with it? It's about human value, human equality, decent life. Because when you talk about capitalism, you're talking about corporate greed. A bunch of few people just want to grab everything and throw the other guy just under the bus and tell them, look, you can struggle, we don't care. But when we went to Cuba, I think, yes, some of the speakers spoke about, the lady, she spoke about that medical mission. It is fantastic. I can tell you right now. I mean, if we have care, free health care to everybody, that's great. That's a human right. That's what I saw. Especially during May Day when we saw all around the world, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from the Americas, all the unions came there. I mean, it was a great manifestation to show the whole world that, you know what, something has to be done. I mean, workers' rights are human rights. So visiting those hospitals, you see, look, people, even though with the sanction going on, people are still surviving. The system is working. Imagine there's no embargo or there's no sanction. I think it would be much better. And the Cuban mission around the world, the medical mission, like let's say what we saw from the movie or presentation in Pakistan. I mean, those areas are very tough areas, but the Cuban went there. And I think think the Pakistanis in general will always be grateful to the Cubans. Now, coming to the example, for example, areas where Cubans usually went, because we were in Havana, we did visit a project. It's called Karibuni. Karibuni means welcome in Swahili. So that project was great. That shows all the nurses that went to Angola, Tanzania, to provide medical services to those people. I think it was great. So we saw some of the nurses that were there like 20 years ago, and their experience was fantastic because they managed to interact with the indigenous and treated them in a very tough situation. I mean, I could show you the evil of imperialism. You know, imperialism don't care about human values, they care about the money, just the money. So, I mean, that touched me a lot, you know. So that inspired me a lot to fight in JFK in Amazon to make sure one day we would get our contract, which we are fighting for up to now. And the other important thing that I want to bring out here is right now in JFK, Amazon is trying to spy on workers. They came up with a policy of cell phone, that you can't use a cell phone in the building. That was it's an old policy of before COVID. We saw that as a deprivation because imagine you're working, now you have a sick family in your house, and they want to contact you for emergency, what would you do? It could be late. They could have been dead before you go there. So we are trying to get a petition right now, about maybe 1,000 signatures to protest against that, because we think that is against the labor rights of the individuals in the building. So I think what we all have to do, we all need to continue the fight, come together, have a great solidarity, support one another, and we hope one day we will have a just society. Thank you very much.
Yeah.